Truly a comprehensive panel, and we're talking about enhanced theatrical experience beyond box office and technology. I'll quickly kind of speak about how comprehensive this panel is, because you have representation of all the aspects related to the exhibition sector that make the topic very relevant. You have representation from projection, which is one of the most key components of running cinemas and the theatrical experience. You have Dolby being represented, which are pioneers in the technologies around sound. You have a national chain being represented by Jaithra, which is PVR IMAX, the largest one there in the country. You have an independent screen being represented, which again in terms of penetration of screens in the Indian geography, play a big role. Let me start the conversation from the end of the queue and bring it right here. And with the advent of the pandemic, consumption patterns changing, the big screen experience, great quality of projection becoming paramount to the kind of spectacles that we are seeing performing well in cinema halls, it has become very critical that you get the projection aspects really right. Just wanted your opening thoughts on how the technology around projection, with new generations of projectors kicking in, where are we headed in terms of the new quality standards that we're trying to give to our audiences?
Okay, thank you very much. First, I would like to say thank you to Brian and Christy, who just have done a very nice presentation with a lot of topic regarding the technical things, regarding laser and xenon, etc., etc. So this, I think, it's quite good, and we can apply this to the other two guys who are our competitors. So thank you very much for that. Saying that, I can say a lot of things, technical things, but let's be honest, or we go deeper in the technical, and it will be extremely boring, or I will place myself as a public, as an audience, okay? I have two kids. When we go to the cinema, honestly, we don't care if it's xenon, laser, or whatever. The most important is the movie, is the content. So as Brian said, the first sentence is right. We cannot make a bad movie. We cannot make a good movie if it's a bad movie. If it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie. Projector is just here to give the best of the best, but it's just part of the thing. When I go with the kids to the cinema, the most important is the experience I will feel. And the experience is not only the projectors. It's the shares, it's the sound, it's the image, of course. The image is extremely important. But the three brands who are marking DCI, Barco, Christy, and us, all of us are making a great job. So the technical is important, but it's not the most important. The most important is you as exhibitors, the experience that you give to the audience. And you need to give always the best. As I said before, the best share, the best sound, etc., etc. If you don't give the best, and if you don't invest in the best, the audience stay at home, looking at Netflix or whatever, because you will be more comfortable at home if you don't have this experience. So the projector is just one part of the pulse, one part of all the things that you need to do as cinema exhibitors. You need to invest in sound, you need to invest in chairs, in projectors, in screen, etc., etc. And if you don't always invest, you will lose your audience. Now saying that, I can go deeper and also sell my commercial things and say, oh, we are the best, we have the best projector, AGB technology is better than AGB, etc., etc., etc. Okay? But let's be clear, this is the commercial bullshit. So today I will be a little bit more honest with you, also to wake up you, because I look like some people are sleeping. So let's refresh a little bit the audience. Sorry to be a little bit rude and honest, maybe. If you want, after I can come back to the more serious technical things.
Thank you, Alain. Coming to you, Friedrich, the other component that in the movie-going experience really enhances things, and we've seen that with some of the recent films, where Pathan was a big-ticket spectacle that came out of India. Triple R had great immersive sound. We've had Mission Impossible, where sound in the background score really enhanced the thrill of the scenes that we saw. More recently, Oppenheimer, where in any Christopher Nolan film, the sound is a character in its own right. And as we go more towards creating larger and greater, grander spectacles, the importance of sound becomes more and more enhanced. So let's have thoughts from you about where Dolby is headed next in terms of offering the more immersive sound and an experience that cannot be replicated at home, thus compelling people to really want to experience these spectacles in cinema halls.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, so just along the lines with Alain, we learned after the pandemic, even stronger than before, that people are coming back to the cinema when you are in the premium format. Is it large? Maybe, but it's for sure it's premium. And we, from our side, we always see similar to Alain, the panel, and as well as the exhibitors, is it's about the experience. So yes, you have Dolby at home, but I think Dolby in the cinema is an experience which is very different. And it will stay different. It's just superior of anything else what you have at home and from Dolby. And for us, yes, we're a technology company, but in reality, for us, it's important to provide A, the experience, and B, the tools for the storyteller. And let me just go 10 years back, just for a glimpse of a second. 10 years back, or actually 11 years back, we have launched Atmos. And how did we come up with this format of sound? Well, we talked to the creative people. We said, what do you need next? Is it another channel? Is it 10 channels? And people were clearly, no, we need something which enhances the storytelling. And this was at that time, and it still is, object-based audio. And so this is how we came up with Dolby Atmos, and this is how the creative community has actually adopted it. And I mean, I think it's not 10 years, 11 years later now, it's not a discussion of, it is the premium format it sound, I believe. And this is also what you see in the audience, where people are coming. In Europe, for example, you have exhibitors who charge more just because of Atmos. It's not a lot, it's maybe 50 cents. So you might be 5%, 3% of the average ticket price. But it is a sign that people do value higher experience in the cinema. And having said that, I mean, you were asking what's like the next step. Next step is certainly video. So after sound, it's projection. And we, from Dolby, we thought about with the creative community, because what you see at this point in time is all the cameras what you're using at the set for shooting are capturing much more, let's say, color and color space, as well as blacks and whites and whatever. This is actually all captured in current cameras on the set, but it's not shown in cinema because the DCI do have a different specification. And this is where we, like 5-6 years ago, come along with the idea to use these additional color space as well as blacks and whites to bring that to the cinema. And we started off like 5 to 6 years ago in America and Europe, and it's called Dolby Cinema. So particularly talking about Dolby Vision, but Dolby Vision is part of a Dolby Cinema. And so in the Dolby Cinema, for us we're trying to optimize the experience in sight and sound. I can go much more detail into the technical parts, but I just wanna say the contrast ratio on Dolby Vision is 1 to 1 million in a cinema. And that's something which is really enhancing the experience of the consumer. And it's very much appreciated by the filmmakers. We have shown it to some all around the globe, also here in India, and the echo is pretty big. And it's about storytelling and it's about experience. That's where we see this is how you can get the audience into the cinema now and in the future.
Very interesting, Friedrich. Thank you. Coming to you, Jaiswin, the Indian exhibition sector, of course, is fragmented between the organized and the unorganized sector, where you have some wonderful national chains like PVR, Inox, Cinepolis, and a whole lot of others that are making their presence felt across the length and breadth of the country. But there's still a lot of tier 2, tier 3 towns that exist in India where they still don't get there, because India is a 1.4 billion strong market, geographically very wide, and it will take a certain amount of time before the upgrade of infrastructure can reach everywhere. In the meanwhile, that becomes that opportunity or that responsibility of the independent screens to upgrade themselves and enhance not just the movie-going experience, but retain the habit of movie-going for audiences across the spectrum. And again, there is a scenario where India is such a diverse market in terms of the disposable income levels that there's enough scope for every kind of an exhibition entity to coexist beautifully. Let's speak about, there's a very relevant and frequent debate that happens about the cost of the movie-going experience being high, which is far from the truth. Because if you look at the average ticket price in India, it's still drastically lower than most markets. Let's speak about balancing cost, quality, in terms of the movie-going experiences, and how do we go about it, doing it in the most efficient manner as independent screens who have certain advantages of being around in these markets for long, but certain disadvantages in terms of possibly access to finance, access to economies of scale. So let's have you speak about that, please.
Thank you, Akshay. Being a single screen exhibitor, the prime understanding what I had from the first, never underestimate your audience. The path-breaking cinema viewing experience in the last 10-15 years brought by PVR, Inox and all, have brought it into a different level of movie experience. So, what at this situation, people always we had that most of the avid movie watchers are well informed about the technology, well informed about the new cinema technology, about sound and visuals and everything. So never underestimate your patient. Always keep upgrading and always make sure the movie viewer gets the wow experience inside the theatre. From the point of ticketing to the viewing and the leisure time he's going to spend in your property, that has to be the most comfortable one. That ease has to be always maintained. The new technology adoption is very important. We have most of these audience who come on social media and ask, is the movie, the content is Dolby Atmos or a DTX or a immersive audio bits. People are very well informed. So it's very important that never underestimate the audience, keep upgrading, keep the wow factor inside the theatre well high. That is very important. And regarding the finances, we have a very high population, which is our strength. Keep bringing more people into the cinema. As per looking at the population count, our screens are very less in India. So we have to tap that part of the market, increase more screens, and the cost barrier will break when you have more footfall. That is the most important thing that as an exhibitor you should look at it. Another thing is, most of the people complain on OTT platforms and the impact on the cinema industry. I believe and understand that OTT has made people got into the habit of watching movies, more into watching movies, which has substantially elevated a certain group of people coming back to theatre. A lot of people are still, once they have gone through some movies at OTT, they just prefer, I should have watched it in a big screen. So OTT is in another way, is giving a positive impact on theatrical experiences.
Interesting. Coming to you, Jaithra, being an organized chain and the largest one there is in India, there is a lot of play that happens around collecting information, collecting data, collecting feedback from the ground, which obviously helps in preparing for enhancing the movie-going experience. There's a lot of chatter about how streaming platforms have access to direct data on the consumption patterns, because it's all it's a two-way, it's not a linear way of information flow. There is information that's coming in around when people are watching something, where they stop, and all of that. Now, unfortunately, the theatrical medium doesn't have that sort of two-way digital infrastructure to capture that sort of data, but enough is done by a chain like yours to really capture data that helps you build on the movie-going experience. Let's hear about what are the ways in which this data is correlated, captured, and used to enhance the movie-going experience to give patrons what they really deserve and want.
So, thanks Akshay for this question. So, primarily how do we capture data, what all do we do with that data, and how are we ensuring that some way or the other we enhance the guest experience, not only from the, like my other panel peers said about the technology and the formats and the tier 1, tier 2 market catching the consumer. How do we handle, first of all, if you see what do we have as a data, we have customers' mobile number only as a data, right? And we just know your transaction behavior. When the customer comes to our cinema, they eat, they watch movie, so we just have to kind of behavior priority from the eating habits as well as watching movie watching behavior. So that's the base of the data that we have. We ensure that we do targeting marketing campaigns to the customer so that if you are habitual of one kind of genre of movie, we ensure that we reach out to you first so that before making a choice for any other location or any other cinema, we tap you there only. Plus, if we know your visit behaviors also, that on which day you come in, on what are the frequencies, so we do those kind of direct transaction behavior targeting rather than bombarding you with various messages. So it's more of a targeted communication. Same goes for a food product also. If we are launching something, some new kind of or new flavor of nachos or a popcorn, we know that you are an avid popcorn eater or a nachos eater. We'll do targeted sampling with you as a redeem this code or redeem this coupon to get some kind of discount on new product launch. So that's what we do on the transaction side. So wherein we ensure that you also feel that PVR Inox understand you. We understand your behavior. So that it's definitely more apt to make you feel that you're bound to do that purchase. Correct? When you come to watch movie, if you're getting your own kind of flavor of food or a combo or an offer or a discount, then definitely I'm 100% sure that I am not letting my customer go away. Even if we have to make you come out from your home to have a big screen experience, maybe if I can make you visit a +1 visit, that's a game for me because I'm ensuring that you're coming back to cinema with your family once again. Or if I can ensure that whatever you like on type of food that we serve in cinema is 100+ SKUs today. If I'm doing a targeted campaign on you, I know that you like certain kind of movie along with the family sort of say that I would run a campaign based on that.
Thank you, Akshay. So, first of all, we are a new player in the market. See, we are from the real estate background, and we entered to this industry, like 2 years back. So, me and Anish are the co-founders of the Complex Smart Theaters, and we initially, like when we entered, we thought of, like what more that we can do for our consumers, and how can we enhance the experience in a smaller segment, right? So even today we keep asking each other what more that we can give to our customers. If we ask, we get our answers. So first, like we never thought of being into the race of bringing more screens, or we never wanted to be on in that league. In fact, somehow, somewhere in last 2 years, we managed to have signed up around 180+ screens, and around 45, 46 are operational right now. Now we are actually understanding the consumer base. They are liking the small format. The screen size is we can maximize the screen size number percent. But people are liking this format. In a smaller auditoriums, we get more sound, from a closer distance, and we place 7.1 Dolby surround sound system in majority all of our cinemas. So customers are liking coming to the cinemas of what we are planning, because we are giving them a neighborhood classy boutique cinema experience, which is beyond the box office and the technology. Of course, content is the king. Content is there. The projector, the sound, the technology is always there. But we are taking them out of the home from our OTT experience, and we are bringing them to a close by nearby cinema where they can walk by from their place, and after the evening, maybe after dinner or maybe lunch or maybe after the office hours, we can simply walk down to the complex market, and we can experience the cinema. So this is what we want to bring into the India by introducing more and more smaller segments, smart screens. We develop cinemas even in 14 feet high, 14 feet high, and we don't receive complaints that we don't have big screens. Of course, big screen is a big player, but even this is also trendy type of approaching it.
Interesting. Coming back to you, Alain. So here the
issue you want to correct like to me?
Yep, right. Absolutely. We'll do one more round before we open it up to the audiences. So coming to you, the boon and the bane of technology is that it evolves rapidly, right? More than ever before, the new generations of projectors, the speed at which the technology is evolving is pretty rapid. Now, while it's great that you have new kind of things being offered by companies like NEC or even other projection providers or whoever else, the problem for a lot of exhibitors in that context can be that the technology that you've invested in becomes redundant pretty soon. So how does that, chicken and egg game play along in terms of investing in technology that within 2 years can be redundant because something new comes along? And then you aren't able to amortize the investments that you've made in technology in that shorter period of time. Especially in a market like India, where the average ticket prices are significantly lower compared to the West. How does that go about? Because that process of recovering your investments is a little tougher here because of the lower average ticket prices. So what are your thoughts on this?
More seriously than before, even before I was serious too. I mean, it's clear that as an exhibitor, you need to invest in new technology. Okay? I'm a little bit against the idea to keep going with Xenon. I'm sorry for Christy. I think it's an old technology. I mean, you guys, you don't suffer this in India yet, but we in Europe, in US, the cost of the electricity is extremely high, okay? And it's going up and up and up and up. So to invest today in Xenon technology, it's criminal. It makes no sense. You will save money today, but tomorrow you will lose money. Because what is important for you, it's give always the best experience to your client, to your audience, but at the same time saving money. And to save money, the only solution is to go laser. Okay, that's the only solution. And compared to Christie or compared to our competitors, we prefer the RB technology because with the RB technology, you avoid a speaker. And you can take a very nice clip like this one with a high gain and don't have any speaker. With RGB, you will have speaker. So you will save money and electricity. And this is the most important for you because, as Brian from Christie said before, when you have a lot of screen, saving energy and saving electricity, it's extremely important. We are talking about millions of euros or millions of dollars. And this is not bullshit. This is very important for you. So you always need to invest in technology. And you cannot buy a technology who have 10 years or something like this. I'm sure that we can make the test, but how many of you in the audience have a telephone who have 10 years? of 5 years? Nobody. You all have the last iPhone or the last Samsung or the last LG or whatever. And every 5 years you change. Because you are forced to, and also because your telephone is making more things, right? The more version. So it's the same for the projectors. If you go examine, you will save money today, but you will fuck you for the next year. The return on TCO on laser is between two to three years. And the cost of the electricity will be higher and higher and higher. So automatically you need to go laser. This is, let's say, the serious part of the business.
Very interesting. Coming to you, Jitendra, one very big thing that I wanted to raise, right? The kind of content in terms of movies that come to cinemas are being exhibited in the best manner possible. One enhanced offering that can be done was something that was really pioneered by you guys, where you had BTS concerts screening live in cinema halls. So that is where you changed the game entirely in terms of giving consumers something significantly beyond the conventional. On this piece, right? The movies that are made, there's no control over, but enhancing what you offer in terms of the stuff that's screened is where innovation kicks in, and you guys have been pioneers on that. Just quick thoughts before we open this up to the audience for questions on what else can be done on this front.
Correct. So we showcase various concerts as Akshay has rightly asked. We showcase various concerts. The last one was Coldplay, and these what do you call it? Singers, Coldplay, BTS. So they have a huge fan following. All these shows wherever. So sometimes we have to increase the shows also. So not from and in India we have Screen X format as well, which is 270 degree from CJ40plex, and that auditorium is always full whenever we do such kind of concerts. But please understand, actually, and for the audience also, that these technologies are cost heavy. Okay? The ROI becomes sometimes challenged because the content has to be shot in that format also. So we get movies also in that format. So ScreenX, Mission Impossible was there in ScreenX, Flash was there in ScreenX. So the cost of technology is also a concern because the ATP that we command in the market is low. But for these kind of audience, yes, it's high, but ROI still becomes a challenge. Okay, so there's a whole audience of alternate content because they know they are consuming that content over the phone today. But if they get same kind of concert not on the TV but on a big screen, they definitely come to the cinema. So we keep on experimenting that. We, like I said, that last month only we did Coldplay and some Korean K-pop also. Plus, big screen is also being utilized for the matches. Everybody knows that. So all these alternate content is actually filling admissions back to our cinemas. So that's but please understand, it's still single-digit percentages that are there because people do not come out from home for big screen experiences because it's just a young crowd who actually try to experiment and would love to have see concerts on a big screen along with the stars and all, with the singers. So that's also a common phenomena now, but it's still a very minuscule percentage.
Thank you, Jitendra. In the interest of time, because we've really overshot this and started late, we'll have to close this. For all the questions that you guys may have, we're around for a bit, I suppose, and you can catch any of these gentlemen up here right after we get done. Thank you, gentlemen, for being a wonderful, for the wonderful insights that you've given. Thank you guys for being a wonderful audience this afternoon.